Well, I think we're back here. We had a computer issue. Very interesting. Had some gremlins here tonight, so we're in the process of sort of getting everything going back right now. Paul Brown is the leader. Ed Palumbo second. Preston Hassel is in third. Right now we are 39 laps in, so I apologize for the trouble here tonight, but it's a little gremlins here. Little gremlins coming out. I think we're back up and running, but wow, that was an interesting situation. It looks like we're back up for now. Who knows for how long, but right now Paul Brown. These guys have been clean here. They had one caution flag while we were out, and I've been watching it on the other stream. Take a look at Will Dunbar here. He's in a little bit of a fight. Archiviero, Tony Furtado back there as well. It's kind of his second pack of cars. And that's led by Jesus Iglesias in the 22 car. So the 21 and the 22 now here fighting it out. Lucas Sifter in that 21 car holding on to that spot as the 22 of Jesus Iglesias trying to get around. Paul Brown continuing to lead. Ed Palumbo right there on his tail. Those two guys have run away from it a little bit. So running 1-2. Preston Hassel in the 27 car leading up that second charge. Just behind him, Jim Willis, Claudio Bardelli Jr., and Craig Bearzon running a little pack of four. 27 car leading up that charge. Take a look at Jim Willis here in the 53 car. He's running in the fourth position, so good run here tonight for Jim Willis. Claudio Bardelli Jr. is in fifth. Craig Bearzon in the sixth position. Craig Bearzon now working on the outside line, getting by the 91 car. So Bearzon making that pass. Take a look at Dana Grover here running in the eighth position. 89. And about there by himself, just ahead is 21, Lucas Sifter. That battle again for the fifth position between Bearzon and Bardelli Jr. starting to heat up again. Bardelli Jr. going to the outside line, getting back by getting back by Craig Bearzon. Preston Hassel again leading that charge. Bardelli Jr. starting to make some moves here. He's giving Jim, oh man, he got crazy. Loose coming off the turn. Take a look at the 9 car, Tony Furtado. Furtado down to the inside, letting the 88 go by. Excuse me, the 68, Valdo Spindola. Furtado might be coming down pit lane. It looks like the 77 car leading up this charge. He's starting to open up the gap. Furtado is on pit lane, so interesting strategy here for the 9 car. Not sure if this is an unscheduled stop. With the 9 car on pit lane taking some service. Take a look at John Stanley in the 12 car. Jesus Iglesias just behind him in that 22. The 88, Will Dunbar, running in the 12th position. 53, Jim Willis coming down pit lane. So Jim Willis trying to get this car on pit lane. He can't get that car warmed up. Oh, man, he's sideways. Jim Willis was absolutely wrecked right there. How in the world did he keep that thing off the wall? Holy smokes, did you see that? Jim Willis. Jim Willis is absolutely wrecked right here, man. His car snaps on him. And then more shenanigans out of that 53. And John Stanley, how John Stanley ended up missing that, I have no idea. Looking out of the front of John Stanley's machine right there. Watch this. 53 going to try to snap back there and almost gets into Stanley. We got a yellow flag. As looks like Matt Bowers in the 4X car coming around. Oh, the 68 hits the 4X. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Right here is the 4X car gets up the track, and he might have gotten in to the Dana Grover machine. Yes, he definitely gets into him, and then he comes sliding back across the track, and this ain't over. This is not over. 4X coming back out on the track, and then he's trying to spin this car around, doesn't realize Givaldo Spindola is go! My gosh, Givaldo absolutely plows into him. So right here, man, it just gets up the track, contact there, and then slide back across the track. And then he spins his car around, and Spindola gets into him. Spindola had nowhere to go there.
Seven.
174.
Ooh, man.
Looks like we might be back here a little bit. Holy smokes. That was a hard lick there from Matthew Bowers in the 4X car. So a caution flag. So we're back up and running. Holy smokes. Escofil Sanfre in here. Hola. Jim Willis out of the track at 53. So remember, he was on pit lane when the caution flag came out. Kind of lucky he didn't lose a lap. So Willis, he might end up, now it looked like the 9 car might be taking a wave around here. Will Dunbar has retired his machine. So I'm not sure if he got caught up in that or what, but definitely got had some problems there. It looks like Willis and also the 9 of Tony Furtado coming down pit lane. So the 77 is the leader. The 27, Preston Hassel, starts in the 2nd position. 21, Lucas Sinfeter. The 91, Claudio Bardelli Jr. 3 and 4. Ed Palumbo is going to start in the 5th position. Marizon is in 6th. So caution flag there. It just looked like the looks like the 4X. He just gotten get those first race jitters going on. We are getting the 1 to go. Don't forget, IndyCar Series coming up tomorrow. Keep your fingers crossed, man. We don't have any more problems. We don't have time for problems right now. But IndyCar Series coming up tomorrow. That will be at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. The official Delar Ahmad, brand new one from Studio 397. Now 27, Preston Hassel starting on the outside this time. And again, I don't like it, man, when we have these restarts at a track like this because, man, it's just tough. This track is really bumpy. Guys on brand new tires, and things are going to get a little slick here. These are cold tires. You got a rubbered-in track.
Green flag, go, go, go.
On the back half of this race, here we go. And again, side by side, so Paul Brown takes them through the turn. Look at that, side by side there with the 21 and the 27. Sinfeter to the inside, the 27, Preston Hassel to the outside. See Palumbo now back in the 4th position. I said beware turn 1, or coming off turn 4 into the tri-oval. Beware, we've seen a couple problems there already. Preston Hassel running in P2. He's starting to maybe take a look at that 77 car. Looking out of the front of Preston Hassel machine. That's the 77 of Paul Brown. Yeah, Palumbo running in P4 in that 54 car, Mellow Yellow sponsor machine. See Lucas Sinfeter starting to dive down, look on the low side. He wants to try to get around that 27 car. He knows how gamey this 54 car can be. 91 car. Claudio Bardelli Jr. running in 5th. Our points leader. He wants to try to keep as much distance between he and the 77 car. In this case, he wants to try to close in, and we got a yellow flag. Take a look and see what happened here. I think Matthew Bowers might have come around. He's out there by himself, gets into the grass and sliding through the pit lane, and he's going to end up, that's his second caution flag, so he's going to have to retire his machine. Little Saturday Night Thunder action coming at you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be at Texas Motor Speedway for a 120-lap race in the Saturday Night Thunder, race number 7 of the season. And this is a fun track, a fun mod, and 120 laps. I get out of the broadcast booth, get down in the driver's seat, and make it happen. See if I can mix it up with these guys. Escafil Sanfre joining us in the chat session. Had to reboot, so hopefully everybody gets sort of connected again. Did not plan on that. We missed about 20 laps, maybe 15 laps of the race, and it happens sometimes. Hopefully we'll get that worked out. I was trying to launch too many things. I think my machine did not like that. Had quite a few things running at the same time, so hopefully that's the problem. Coming down pit lane, it looks like 77 will lead the field to come down this, take a pit stop here. See if we can't get a little bit of a battle on off pit lane. Is this, oh, look at that 27 car going to get out ahead of these guys. 60 car as well. So some good battling off pit lane. Now Bardelli Jr. is the leader, and I think these guys are going to come down pit lane. 91, 12, 22, 68. All still out here on the track. It looks like Tony Furtado out there as well. Now Tony a little bit off the pace. He is running in the 13th position, 1 lap down. He's in the lucky dog position. Now if those guys pit, I don't know what the situation is here. Maybe if those guys pit, he might get the wave around. I don't know. We'll see. I should probably know the rule, huh? So it'll be interesting to see whether the 91, the 12, the 22 all come down pit lane. Not this time. as we were talking about that IndyCar Series race, this is coming up tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on TurnLeftTV. It's the High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That's home for me. Man, I live just a short distance away, just a stone's throw away from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I've been there many, many times. And this is going to be a fun one here on Memorial Day weekend, the night before the Indianapolis 500. So Bardelli Jr. has the, looks like maybe he's going to stay out here. These guys, Iglesias is to the inside, but he might end up staying out. That will not help out Tony Furtado. We got a few laps on these tires here, so you know, this is an interesting strategy, in my opinion. And thanks so much for coming in here to Turn Left TV and checking us out tonight. Escofil Sanfre in the chat session. Good to see him. Thanks to those folks for coming back after we had a little bit of a crash. But we're going to hopefully stay connected. I'm not going to launch anything else. I think it was launching too many things on my desktop at the same time, and that's what happened. So we are going to go back green, and it does look like the 91, the 12, the 22, all out on these older tires. All right, the 91 and the 12 side by side here. Pace cars coming off the track this time. Here we go. Getting ready to go back green. On board here with Claudio Bardelli Jr. Don't spin those tires, man. Here we go. Back to green. Battle there for the second position. Heating up there is Iglesias to the inside. John Stanley up on that outside line. Iglesias looks like he has P2. 27. Preston Hassel going to try to get through. These guys are starting to pick up the intensity here. Let's take a look at Craig Marizon. He's in a hornet's nest right now. On board here with Craig Marizon in the 60 car. Givaldo got out of the throttle. Spindler got out of the throttle there, I think, at 68. He's down to the inside. Hopefully everything. Oh boy, they're getting side by side there. Jim Willis going to the outside line. Givaldo on the inside. He's going to end up losing another position there. The 53 car, the 9 car going to try to get around. Everybody sort of nose to tail now, except for P2. Looks like Jesus Iglesias and the 77 of Paul Brown. Side by side, Iglesias wanting to try to get down to the inside here now, holding on to P3. Ed Palumbo, Preston Hassel racing it out. 54 and the 27. Iglesias, I don't think he's done, man. It's the 27 looking out of the front of Ed Palumbo's car at the 27 AMD Rising Sponsor machine. Out of the throttle, almost got in the wall. Iglesias driving the wheels off this thing. Iglesias trying to get around. Now side by side with Preston Hassel. This is crazy here. Iglesias up the track in the 22 car. I just have a feeling, man, something's going to happen. There's going to be a flip of the switch somewhere. Look at that, the 54 trying to get around Iglesias. They are tight. 54 at Palumbo on the move, trying to get around these guys with on those older tires. Holy smokes, look at this. 27 and the 91 side by side. At Palumbo looking under the front of his machine. Well, oh, there we go. Jesus came around, and these guys trying to miss it. And they're all over the track back here. Craig Marizon was involved. It looked like maybe Jesus Iglesias came around. Iglesias into the wall right there. Gets in the wall. And he's it gets down into the 60 car, it looks like. And then all heck breaks loose. So Iglesias through the grass. There was some contact with he and might have been Craig Marizon. Looking out of the front of Craig Marizon's machine. And then they're wrecking all over the place. So it looked like, see right here, the 60 car, he's on the inside coming off the turn here. You see they're almost 3 wide right there. Marizon in that 60 car, and he might have gotten turned right there a little bit by the 53. And that was just a cluster of cars, holy smokes. Right here, again, we take a look at these guys get clustered together. 53 is almost the punching bag in the middle. It looks like the 60 and the 53 get together. And then Iglesias gets taken out. The 9 gets caught up and out as well. Looks like that's what happened there. So, wow. That got a little aggressive there with some of those guys. You take a look at the, I had to report up to the booth what the results of that comes. We'll call that a racing deal there, man. And guys, just close it up. There were 3 wide coming off the turn. So Preston Hassel is the leader as we got some guys on pit lane, and oh my gosh, look who it is. Who is that guy? Who is this guy right here? Oh, look up there. Look up there. That's all right. That's Dennis Unichin joining us. Good to see Dennis. He just popped in here. Good to see him. Hope everything's okay with Dennis. Definitely Think about you guys every day. Feel like I'm bothering you, so I kind of just do a once a week check-in with you because I'm doing it once every day, and then felt like, I don't know if those guys want to get a message from me every day. So I check in with him once a week, and I'm glad to see him in on the stream. Gonna have to teach me a little Ukrainian. Dana Grover up to the second position. Vieta is in third. Paul Brown in the fourth position. See Tony Furtado on pit lane in the 9 car. So he's taking some service. There's the Porta-Johns. If anybody was wondering how to get to the restroom, there you go. Is Furtado finishing up his pit stop. '77 car indicating he got speeding penalty on pit lane, so he's going to have to start at the back of the field. That's not a very timely speeding penalty. Just when is it a timely speeding penalty, right? Dennis, don't forget, man, we got Indy cars coming up in your time slot, so hopefully we'll get you out here. Maybe take a mind off things for a little while. Get out here and mix it up with us at Indy. That's my home track, Dennis. Been there many, many times with about, I'd say probably around 65, 70 kilometers away from Indianapolis, 45 miles, 40, 45 miles. So that's 60, 65 maybe kilometers away from Indy. Been there many times. And that's coming up tomorrow. We'll be doing a little broadcast for you. Keep our fingers crossed here. Everything works out. Dana Grover is the leader. The 91, Claudio Bardelli Jr. will start on the outside line, I believe. So we'll see if this 89 car comes down pit lane. 25 laps to go. And this has been a little bit of a mess here as far as caution flags are concerned. Bardelli Jr. is the points leader coming into tonight's race. We'll take a look at, well, it does look like the lights are out, so we'll take a peek at that in the next caution or at the end of the race. Yeah, Dennis, make sure you get that new IndyCar mod. It's the official content there. The Dallara 18. IR 18, I guess, Dallaras from Studio 397. Back to green. Bardelli Jr. on the outside. Got a little bit of a jump there on Grover. Grover down on the inside line was the leader. And he's now got some work to do there trying to get back around the 91 car. 21, Lucas Simpfer looking fast here. Ed Palumbo to the inside. He's trying to get around Dana Grover. Ed Palumbo looking racy. Side by side with Craig Marazon in the 60 car. 54 to the inside. You see the 60 of Craig Marazon letting him go. Bardelli Jr., Sinfner, Grover, Palumbo, Marazon rounding out the top 5. That's 6-car breakaway. Tony Furtado is a couple laps down. It looks like he's 1 lap down in the lucky dog position. They're side by side up there getting after it. Dana Grover and Lucas Simpfer, the 21. They got together. 54 going to try to stick his nose in there. Hope they're not going to go 3 wide. 54 go down to the inside. He's down side by side here with Lucas Simpfer and the 54 car looking pretty strong. He's to the inside. He's now looking to try to take the lead. 91 and the 54 side by side. Lucas Simpner running in the third position. Looks like Ed Palumbo in the 54 is going to take the race lead. Ed Palumbo in the race lead now. Dana Grover and the 21 fighting it out there for 3-4. Bardelli Jr. in second. Simpner third. Take a look at Jim Willis in his 53 car. He's running through the grass there. Tony Furtado through the grass. Does he hang on to that thing? He does. Tony Furtado was absolutely wrecked. Holy smokes. How in the world did he save that? Take a look at this. Tony Furtado, there must have been some contact or something, but he came through the grass, holds on to that thing, keeps from spinning out. We stay green. Jim Willis trying to get around Dana Grover in this 89 car, the 53, up on the high side. Trying to make some moves here late in the race. He gets around. Bardelli Jr. now, he's looking on the inside of Ed Palumbo in his 54 car. So Ed Palumbo now giving back up that position to the 91 car. Palumbo now back to second. Jim Willis trying to make some moves here. Dana Grover to the inside. Jim Willis throwing the block. It's go time here. There is no time to wait now as the 53 car picks up third position. Jim Willis looking pretty strong. Look at this, the 77 and the 22 side by side. Paul Brown trying to work his way back to the front. He got a speeding penalty. Craig Marizon working on the outside of Dana Grover. There's a lot of racing going on here. Look at this, Jim Willis up on the outside line, battling Ed Palumbo through the tri-oval. Jim Willis in the 53 car now up to P2. Jim Willis in that Black Rifle Coffee Company machine now up to P2. We might have a caution flag. No, we're green. No, we got a yellow flag here. Yellow flag. Not what we wanted to see.
What's your impression? What I did? I say I'm not sure.
We'll take a look here as Dana Grover got into the back of the 60 car and then into the wall. Take a look here. Let's take a look at Dana Grover. Now Dana Grover gets down into right there into looked like he might have gotten into the 77 car. That was some tight racing right there. Like he might have made contact right there with the 60. We'll back it up. Not a very good camera angle here. He got into the back of the 60 right there and then comes back across Paul Brown's nose. Got in front of Paul Brown's machine and just comes across the nose there. He got into the back of the 60. All right, the 91 car, Claudio Bardelli Jr. is the leader. Jim Willis in second. Now you got to be questioning what's going to happen here as far as pit stops are concerned. What is going to happen here as far as pit stops? So there's our answer right. Those guys are going to pit. All those guys coming down pit lane. This is going to be an interesting pit stop to watch. Some guys I think are going to take 2 tires maybe. Risk it. You're looking at, 15 laps to go. You're going to be somewhere around 13 once we go back green. Some guys might gamble here and take 2 tires there. John Stanley on pit lane. Look at that. Bardelli Jr. shoots out there. He might have did a 2. Oh, boy, look at that. Ed Palumbo up to 2nd position. John Stanley in 3rd. Now, some of these guys, 2 tires. Vieira back up to the lead. We haven't really talked too much about Art Vieira. We've had a busy night here tonight with a lot of things going on. A couple crashes to the system. Funny thing is that I got an error there that for some reason my OBS is not liking if I don't have the newest the drivers. It'll say something about having outdated drivers and stuff like that. I mean, I just had that not too long ago and got it again when I saw that there was a driver update. It wanted it. For some reason, it wouldn't let me record. So I had to update the drivers, came back, and got the blue screen. That wasn't good. Now, Tony Furtado has gotten back on the lead lap. That's good for him. He's gotten on the lead lap here in this 9 car, so he got the lucky dog and is back on the lead lap. That's good news for him. Little shot in his arm. I think Art Vieira might have a little bit older tires in his 4 car. So Vieira is the leader. If he doesn't come down pit lane, he'll start in P1 and 91. Bardelli Jr. currently in the 2nd position. Ed Palumbo 3rd. Jim Willis in 4th. Lucas Simpsoner in the 5th position. Paul Brown is in 6th. Some of these guys definitely took 2 tires. And I wouldn't blame them, really. I mean, at this point, you just got a few laps on those other tires. So just take some right sides and then just get after it here. Looks like Vieira has elected to take the inside line. We don't have the choose rule here in rFactor 2, and I'm glad, man. That's just another rule in NASCAR that I cannot stand. We need to back up the rules up to just like the lucky dog. The stage racing, get rid of it. The choose rule, get rid of it. Single lug, get rid of it. If they're stock cars, no cars out there got single lugs. I mean, come on. There you go. I've done my rant for this evening. Not a big fan of stage racing. Not a big fan of the choose rule, obviously. I do like the lucky dog. I don't care one way or the other as far as the numbers are concerned, where they're placed. I can see the traditional keep the number in the middle of the door. I mean, a lot of people that watch NASCAR are traditional people, so a lot of changes they've made are pretty much rub them the wrong way. But here we go. The 4 car going to lead the field here to take the green flag. The 91 up on the outside line in 2nd. 54 Ed Palumbo. He's been racy here tonight. He is starting in 3rd. 53 Jim Willis, also racy here tonight. Starts in the 4th position. Here we go, back to green. these guys getting after it. The 4 car beating it, banging there on the back of him is the 54. Palumbo trying to give him a little bit of a push there to get through. Palumbo and Art Viet have a lot of laps together. Art have been racing in this league for quite a long time. Palumbo, is he going to be patient here with Art Viet on those older tires? Here on lap 88. Still side by side, nobody wanting to give an inch. Here up front, oh, the 53 smacking the wall. 53 got into the wall, and Palumbo still trying to punch into that 4 car. Yellow flag. Another yellow flag here. There's somebody coming around. Looks like John Stanley off the pace. So let's take a look and see what happened here. Is John Stanley coming around? We know it had something to do with him, but not sure what's going on there. We'll take a look here as they're side by side. And then right there, a little bit of a clip in the front of the 9 car. Take a look here as another look at this. Down the backstretch. And then into that 12. And spins him to the inside wall. Right there, looked like the 9 car got into the 12. So a caution flag, another one. These guys, I guess they want to ride around in 45 miles an hour. Vieta is the leader. Bardelli Jr. third. Palumbo fourth. Palumbo third. Willis fourth. Brown is in fifth. So I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be pitting now. I mean, you got what you got. But the guys who do pit may have a chance if they can get enough laps here to get some heat in the tires. May have a chance of really picking up quite a few spots. So I'd say if you're in the back half of that field, you're going to make a pit stop. And it does look like Lucas Simpfer is coming down pit lane in the 21 car. Furtado on pit lane. Furtado has decided to retire his machine. Don't forget, next week we'll be at Gateway Raceway for the final race of the season to crown the champion here in the Buschwackers series. And that'll be a good race. I think it'll be a good race anyway. Kind of a fun one. We'll take a look at the point standings coming into tonight's race. So you look there, just what we're talking about, 8 points separate Bardelli Jr. and Brown. Robillard not here tonight, so he's going to take a hit in points. Lucas Simpler sets fourth. Preston Hassel fifth. He and Craig Bearzon having a good battle there for fifth place. Valdo, Archer, Tiago, and Sean. And then Tiago was in here a little bit earlier practicing, but decided not to race apparently, so maybe he felt like he was going to ride around under caution. He would have been right. So it's been a little bit of a challenge here tonight, but thanks for sticking it out with us. Looks like whatever we've had happen here has kind of subsided. I think I was all me. I was trying to run too many things at once and launched a couple programs, and the computer did not like that. So those things happen. Learn. You got to figure out what the limits are on your computer, right? I think I found it out tonight. Don't forget to that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. And if you'd like to make a donation to TurnLeftTV, you can click on the link up in the banner of the channel and make a donation straight through PayPal. Thanks to all those folks who have done so. You can also support me by clicking on the link down in the description of this race and follow it over to the Fanatec website. If you're interested in purchasing something through them, please use my link. I'd appreciate that. And of course, you can share my videos with all of your friends, no matter where you can share YouTube videos. You're welcome to share mine. Well, who did I pick to win this race? Craig Bearzon. Right now he's in the 7th position. He's had a little bit of a challenge here tonight, but I don't know, man. I mean, he might be able to get up there. It's hard to pass on the inside line. You see Vieta taking the inside line here, so Bardelli Jr. So Vieta on the inside, Bardelli Jr. on the outside there, P2. P3 is Ed Palumbo in the 54, the 53 of Jim Willis in 4, so pretty much identical to the last start. Here we are getting ready to start lap 95, and there's not going to be any given here. It's all going to be take, and I would, if I'm a betting person, I'm going to throw my money, and there might be another caution flag here. I hope not. I don't think we even got any green flag pit stops in. This would be a big win for Art Vieta. He hasn't had a win here in a while. And Vieta got a lot of championships under his belt. This guy can drive anything. Let's see if he can drive it the last 5 laps here to hold off Bardelli Jr. I guess we'll have 6 to go. Got 6 laps to go as Vieta on the inside, Bardelli Jr. up on the outside line. Bardelli Jr.'s been really good on the outside. I don't know, man. I might have taken that outside line. It's so hard to pass, but Vieta gets a good run. Down the backstretch, he's got a little bit of help there with the 54 car. Looking out of the back of Vieta's machine, the 91, Bardelli Jr. trying to get around on the outside. Side by side. And Palumbo trying to sneak his nose underneath the 4 car. He inches ahead. Oh, Paul Brown gets into the wall. Paul Brown into the wall. Looks like the 27 off the pace. Is he going to hold on to it? More wrecking. '27 off the pace. We got a new race leader here, and that's the 54, Ed Palumbo. Can he hold him off? Lap 97, the 54, the leader. Paul Brown trying to make his way through the field. I don't know what we got going on there, but... And Paul Brown hold off Bardelli Jr. to the outside. Got to figure out some camera. I got a new keyboard as well. Got to figure out some buttons here for some reason. Oh, there's contact there with the 54 and the 91. Keeping it green. Bardelli Jr. back to the lead. 77 to the outside. He's going to try to get around the 54 car. Running out of time here to lap 98. Cross the start finish line. We have 2 to go. Bardelli Jr. is the leader. Paul Brown in the 77. He's in third, trying to get around the 54 of M. Palumbo. M. Palumbo now up onto the back of the 91 car. Claudio Bardelli Jr. in the 91, trying to hold off the charge by the 54. Cross the start finish line. We'll have 1 to go. The points leaders are up front. Bardelli Jr., the leader. Through the tri-oval into turn 1. They're racing it out for the second position. M. Palumbo now giving up that second position to Paul Brown. Now Paul Brown setting his sights on Claudio Bardelli Jr. Down the backstretch, Bardelli Jr. is the leader. Paul Brown in second. Paul Brown to the inside. Does he have enough grip to be able to pull off the pass? The 91 and the 77 side by side through the tri-oval. Who's going to take the victory here? It's going to be a photo finish. Who ends up getting it? Paul Brown gets it by just a centimeter. Woo! Holy smokes, did you see the finish to that? Paul Brown on a little bit fresher tires, able to work his way through the field and get the race win. Holy smokes, what a finish. What a great finish there for between the 77 and the 91. Holy smokes. What a finish here in the Buschwackers series. We have got to take a look at that finish before we lose it. Watch this. Coming off the turn. Side by side. To the tri-oval. To the finish line. Right there. Look at that. That finish. Holy smokes. You gotta look at that. Holy smokes. What a finish. Paul Brown gets the win, and in dramatic fashion. That was a heck of a race there. A lot of caution flags early on, but looks like they kind of got it worked out. What a crazy finish that was. So congratulations to Paul Brown on getting the win. We'll see if we can't get the final results here before we pop that up. Final results here tonight. Paul Brown finishes in first. Claudio Bardelli Jr. in second. M. Palumbo in a third place finish. Jim Willis fourth. Jesus Iglesias and Arthur Vieira fifth and sixth. You see Givaldo Spindler battles back for a seventh place finish. Craig Marizon eighth. John Stanley and Preston Hassel ninth and 10th. Finishing in the 11th position is Dana Grover. Lucas Sinfer finishes 12th. Tony Furtado 13th. Matt Bowers finishes in the 14th position. And Will Dunbar finishes in 15th. We'll see if we can't get Paul Brown up in the booth with us. What a heck of a finish there. Man, that was a crazy finish. All right, we're up here in the booth with Paul Brown. What an amazing finish, man.
Man, that was fun. There's so little room for give and take at that track. It's so hard not to get into people. Man, what a race. That was fun.
Yeah,
fun ending.
I really do think that, the tri-oval is so really very difficult at this track because it is bumpy and, it's, I think, a little bit more pronounced than some of the other tracks that have tri-ovals, and things tighten up.
Definitely, especially out of turn 4. You get side by side in turn 4, and then you're coming down the tri-oval, and definitely you're bouncing down the inside line and on the outside line, and trying to get lined up for turn 1, and it's a feat, man. It's fun. That's my favorite track, honestly. One of my favorite tracks.
I like this track too. I think tonight, and as with last race, we just have some impatience there early in the runs. Guys just, fighting for a position on cold tires, and trying to dive under people when we get those situations where guys just create caution flags. We've had too many here tonight.
We had way too many tonight. Yeah, I mean, you see a hole open, and your first instinct is to dive in that spot and take it. Jesus did it. He passed like 3 cars, and I don't know how he even made it through without wrecking all of us. It's very, very tight racing at Charlotte, for sure.
Well, it was a heck of a battle there with you and Bardelli Jr. at the last. You had to weave your way through traffic, and I think might have gotten a little kindness there from the 54 car.
Yeah. Ed said, I can't get him. Can you? And it was one of those, I don't know, maybe. So he let me go try it. Sure enough.
Definitely a good run there with Palumbo. Jim Willis up front, too. You've raced a lot of laps with those guys and had to feel pretty comfortable when you got around them. Definitely,
yeah. It depends on who you're around, for sure. Yeah, those guys are awesome. Great to race with.
Well, guys, we're talking about the inside line not working that well. What was your take on it?
The inside line worked fine for half the fuel run, and then the top would come in. And 1 and 2, 3 and 4, I had to stay on the bottom. I don't know. That's just how it worked for me.
Definitely helps you out as far as your run for the championship, tightening up it a little bit. You had an 8-point gap there coming into tonight's race, and this is definitely going to tighten things up. And going into Gateway, what's your feelings on that track?
I don't like Gateway. I've only ran there a couple times. I don't know. We'll see how that plays out, but yeah.
Should be a little bit of a crapshoot here, but congratulations, and we'll see you tomorrow, I think, at Indy.
Yes, I'll be there.
All right, man. Congrats.
Thanks, man.
Paul Brown joining us up in the booth and getting a big win here at Charlotte. He likes this track. A little bumpy. It does take, man, you got to be up on the wheel at this track, really. And it favored the 77 car here tonight. Well, speaking of Indy, coming up tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for a 100-lap race in the IndyCar Series. The IndyCar Dallara IR18 mod, the official content, Studio 397, so it should be a fun race. Definitely going to be hopefully bringing that to you flag to flag without any problems here tomorrow. Tonight's race is brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. Again, thanks for joining us here on TurnLeftTV. It's proud to partner up with EliteHostingUSA.com, who's hosting our service here at HORL. Perfect for rFactor 2, and don't forget about your website and your online store. You can host those as well at EliteHostingUSA.com. And don't forget to join us over at HighOctaneRacing.net. You get updates on point standings, who's doing what, screenshots, of course, links to the videos, and then also current point standings, of course, and then any schedule changes and so forth. You'll get updated through HighOctaneRacing.net. It's a good quick link to our Discord channel as well. You can also see who's running what throughout the week, who's been practicing, and see what those times are. Well, don't forget to come out and join us here at HighOctaneRacing.net. Well, that was an interesting race, that's to say the least. A little bit too many cautions. I think all those guys will agree to that caution flag count was a little too much here. We've had some great racing with caution-free races, but the last couple races have been a little dicey, to say the least. So we'll see how it works out at Darlington. But I want to say thanks to all those folks for coming in here tonight. Peace to everybody out there. It's ending tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You definitely do not want to miss it. It's going to be a fun one. And don't forget to join us here on TurnLeftTV if you can't join us on the track. That's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks so much for joining me here at TurnLeftTV. We will see you later. I'm out of here.